This story is the 8th in a collection called Genesis People, published by Caparago Press, written by Sheila Deeth. There was once an old man called Methuselah. He had lots of children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and he was the oldest man that had ever lived. "How old are you, Dad?" his son Lamech asked. And Methuselah answered, "I am as old as my tongue." "How old are you, Grandad?" asked his grandson Noah. And Methuselah said he was a little bit older than his teeth. "How old are you, great-grandfather?" asked his great-grandsons Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Methuselah said he was older even than the wrinkles on the backs of his hands. "You've got lots of wrinkles," said his great-grandsons. And their father added, "But you've not got many teeth." "I've still got me tongue," said Methuselah, "and I'll tell your Grandpa Lamech if you keep bothering me." So they left him in peace. Methuselah and his family lived in a small house by a river. They were the only people in their neighborhood who still knew about God. They prayed to God every day. They asked God for sunshine and rain to make the crops grow. They asked him for help when anyone was ill. They asked him for peace when their neighbors were fighting. And they asked him for wisdom when they tried to keep the peace. God always answered them. Methuselah's father was a man called Enoch. A long time ago, Enoch had told Methuselah about God, how God had made the whole world and filled it with good things, how he'd made people to be his friends, and how Adam and Eve disobeyed him, so the world became dangerous and scary. But God still loved his people, Enoch said, and God promised to send someone one day to mend the world. One day Enoch disappeared. His family searched for him everywhere, but all they found were his clothes in a neat pile. His prayer shawl was missing, and the sign for God was scratched into the sand. That was how Enoch's family knew he'd gone home to God. When Methuselah's last tooth fell out, he started asking God to take him home too. He wanted to see his father Enoch again, and he wanted not to have to worry any more about all the bad people in the world. "How old are you now, Grandad?" asked his grandson Noah. And Methuselah said he was 969 years old. Then he smiled at Noah, and, still smiling, died quietly in his bed. Thank you, God, for loving us all, no matter how old or young we are. Thank you for taking care of us here on earth. And thank you for preparing a home for us in heaven, where we can live forever.